Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another 8-4 Dragons of Tarkir Fate Reforged draft. We open Necromaster Dragon, which is a really good dragon. Efficiently costed. It's in, colors that are certainly a good archetype. It's got a great ability, so we'll first pick it. It does, put you in two colors on your first pick, which is never really good, but we don't have to necessarily marry these two colors. Like, I can also end up playing black or blue and splash for this if I want to do a different color. This card seems like it's very splashable, so I don't necessarily, like I said, have to marry blue-black, but I certainly want to first pick this card. There's a lot of other good cards in here. Shield-Hide Dragon, Cobra, Tail Slash, some, I guess that's like the tier 1, and then there's like Artful Maneuver, Defeat, Segmented Crotique as your tier 2. Or wait, does that work? Wait, is tier 1 the best one? Now I forget. Haven't played my MMOs in a while. Okay, well, Youthful Scholar is a pretty nice follow-up pick. It's a very strong card, and it remains in color with our first pick. Strongest card in the pack might actually be the Youthful Scholar, or at least tied between Youthful Scholar and like Bowmasters and Outrider and Stormcrag Elemental for their respective archetypes. But Youthful Scholar is definitely an awesome follow-up pick here, so doing that. Okay, third pick. So, staying on color, we can take Gurmag Drowner. Strongest card in the pack is Epic Confrontation over Pacifism. Nothing really good in black, which is interesting. I don't really like green-blue all that much. Blue-white lets you do some, blue-white skies sort of things. I could just take Drowner. Although people tell me this card's not really impressive anymore, I still think it's really good. Certainly works well with Youthful Scholar. Strongest card in the pack are the removal spells. Do I necessarily want to take either of them? I think Epic Confrontation is better than Pacifism, but Pacifism is going to work better if I want to play the Youthful Scholar. I think I'm just going to take the Drowner, though. We're going to stay heavy blue for a few more picks, if that keeps working out, until we see what's absolutely open. All right, like we get past Vulturous Haven now, which is just really good in blue-black, and certainly works well with our Youthful Scholar. So I think at this point, I likely just want to start building towards a nice blue-black build. Vulturous Haven is great. And yeah, I mean, we're starting off the bat really great cards for blue-black, so I think let's just keep this going for as long as we can, which is apparently right now. So nothing on color here. I think Sandcrafter Mage is probably the strongest card remaining in this pack. Yeah, I think it really is. So we'll take the Sandcrafter Mage. I mean, the only way it's going to work is if blue or black doesn't work out, or if I end up in 3-color. Although even if I end up in 3-color, one of the main two colors would have to be white. I wouldn't feel comfortable splashing for Sandcrafter Mage. I certainly don't feel like taking a duress here. Not much else to say. Rending Volley. I'll just take the Mage. I mean, Mage is certainly, to me, the best card in that pack. Okay, so choices now. I like Acid Spewer Dragon. I'm pretty comfortable taking it here. And like I said, the first 4 picks are very good in blue-black, so I definitely have some incentive to want to carve my way into a blue-black build. But let's take the Acid Spewer Dragon here, which is certainly a fine dragon in general, and at least is like a, morph 3-drop sometimes, and is a good game finisher at other times. Otherwise, Student of Ojutai is likely pretty good for a build such as this, if I end up in white. Although, once again, not a card I really feel comfortable splashing. Okay, so there's some strong green cards remaining here. Not like insane ones, but Erink's Watcher and Shield Bearer are all playable. I feel fine taking Negate. It's main deckable, a better sideboard card, but cuts blue out of this, so let's just take it. Okay, choices now. More green, so it does seem like green's open. The question is, do I want to be the one that goes into green? I mean, not especially, but Wandering Tomb Shell's not that great. You know, Zephyr Scribe's actually, it's not a very good card, but it's on color, it's playable. It's certainly not good when you only have one non-creature card at the moment. But Herd Chaser Dragon and Crotique, I mean, aren't really reasons I'd want to go in green, I don't think. I'm going to take the Scribe. I think pack 1, we're at least getting the indication that green's open, which is fine. Like, I can take green now and splash for green. I mean, like, honestly, Segmented Crotique seems like a card you could splash for. We'll take Living Lore. It's certainly not good in this deck yet, but it's early. All right, Reduce in Stature is playable. I'm not going to tell you I'm excited about it, but it is playable. And it seems more playable in this deck than a Void Squall would be, so we'll take it. All right, I'm going to hate Pinion Feast over taking Tygom Strike. Seems very unlikely I would play Tygom Strike, and Pinion Feast is just going to be good against us. So we'll hate that. All right, Ancestral Statue. I actually don't like the card for the main deck, but it's a sideboard option if we're playing against a heavy pacifism deck. All right, Mystic Meditation's playable, but another 4-drop, which I don't really like for this, but it also seems like Living Lore is just not going to happen. It's a pretty tough card to make work anyway. But at the moment, like I said, we're trying to carve our way into blue-black, mostly because the black cards we have are powerful, and the blue cards we have are powerful as well. But it does seem like we may just have to splash green, which is acceptable. I've made 3-color work quite a few times in this format, so I don't have any problems doing that. Especially, I mean, if green is what's getting shipped, and we're getting late Pinion Feast and Segmented Crotique, it could just be in our best interest. For that, I would want Evolving Wilds, and I'm going to want some lands out of pack 3 if we are going to have to go down the 3-color route. Like I said, though, I would like to make blue-black work, but we did only manage to pick up 3 black cards, which definitely is indicative of black getting cut. So let's keep some options open here. All right. Well, I mean, there's powerful green cards. We probably wheel them, right? So let's just take the Foul Tongue Invocation and wheel some green cards. Although, I guess Quartermaster's a little more splashable than Bowmasters is going to be. I mean, you can also morph it and unmorph it for 1 green, so I guess that's an option I can do. But we'll take the removal. It could also be maybe black's open from pack 2. We get passed from this direction some black cards, and in pack 3 we're going to have to focus on the blue again. I can make that work too, but Foul Tongue Invocation definitely a good pickup here, especially seeing as we have 2 dragons already. It's not good when you're playing Reduce in Stature. I just kind of figured that out, but I would rather play Invocation than Reduce in Stature anyway, so it's not a big deal. All right, Sign of Ugin's a good dragon card. I can second pick that pretty comfortably. There's also Ojutai's Breath, which is fine too, but we'll take the Scion. I would like to pick up some Elusive Spellfist, get some actual cheap spells going, but if we can't, so be it. Definitely taking Scion here, though. We've already got the Foul Tongue Invocation. Maybe we get some more, like Dragonloft Idol or something like that. Or is Dragonloft Idol? Is that what it's called? I can't remember. Okay, Evolving Wilds, but we actually have some on-color cards I want here. All right, Butcher is removal. Minister is pretty good too, though. Shambling Goblin is something cheap that really holds off aggro well, but I think we want to take one of the more powerful cards. I actually like Minister here, I think, seeing as it can kill tokens and kill cheap threats like Dramoka Warrior and stuff. I also like the Drowner, but I think Minister might be just better for our build. It's a pretty good card, actually. 3 mana, 2/3, which, you know, isn't bad, but I actually think that exploitability is pretty good, too. I mean, Silumgar Butcher's fine as well, but Minister's a little bit cheaper. I really wish I could get this Goblin and the Evolving Wilds, too, but I'm just going to go Minister here. Okay. Interceptor is better than Marshalk, so we'll take that. Maybe we're not splashing green, at least yet. But let's take the Interceptor pretty happily. Maybe we wheel Contradict or Marshall. It's possible. That Mythic is pretty good. There's a Dragonloft title, you know, but there's also an Ojtai summons. Jeez, but we have 3 dragons. That really does make Dragonloft title better. But I guess the issue is it's yet another 4-drop. You know, honestly, that's not a big deal. It's not like I have to play Living Lore or Mystic Meditation. But do I want to play Dragonloft title? I think I'd rather the summons. It seems a little more consistent. I mean, Dragonloft Idol is cool, but who knows? Maybe it wheels. Probably not. But we'll take the summons. I think summons is just a little bit more consistent. All right, Shield High Dragon is pretty strong. There's Assault Formation, which is okay. I mean, doesn't seem like it's that great for us, I guess. It's just a good card in general, but not when you're splashing green. I think we probably take the Shield High Dragon, maybe splash for it. It's a strong card, especially when you have 3 other dragons. Okay, well, Ojtai Monument's a way to splash for Shield High Dragon. Otherwise, I take like Sibsig Icebreakers, which I don't really care about. We can take Monument. I also have a Sandcrafter Mage. If you splash for Shield High Dragon, though, you have to hardcast it. That's kind of the rule because it takes double white. But we'll take the Monument here. What are we giving up? A Sibsig Icebreaker that I don't care about? All right. Monument's fine. All right, Evolving Wilds. Jeez. And there's Ojtai Summons and Shambling Goblin. Jeez. I still think I can't take Evolving Wilds. I want to take Summons, I think, over Goblin. We're really going to have to get cheap spells out of our pack 3, though, which is problematic. We're going to probably end up playing 18 lands if I take the Summons here, but Summons is just good. It's better than Goblin. Goblin's just good because it feeds into your Exploit, but Summons is just so much better than Goblin. I think I got to go Summons. That's tough. We did table the Quartermaster. We also tabled some not very exciting blue cards. I don't think there's a very high chance I'm playing Quartermaster. I think at this point we are still looking for some playables. Maybe I can splash for Charger, actually, if I do end up splashing for Shield High Dragon. Charger seems like another card I could splash for. It's a morph card that turns into a bigger threat. Okay, Custodian here actually seems pretty good. Our deck's going to need to buy some time. Custodian can be good at that, so we'll take it. Tabling that Shambling Goblin is just great for us. This deck really needed this really bad. So I'm really happy we tabled that Shambling Goblin. Like I said, this deck absolutely needs some cheaper stuff going on. Right now we are... I'll take the Vial just because we're like removal light and it's something to do early. All right. Artillerist, sure. I mean, I definitely think we're going to be able to make this deck come together. Right now, it absolutely looks like an 18-land deck because we have card draw, but we have quite a bit of late game that we want to get going here. So definitely got to be thinking about that. But yeah, maybe we don't even have to splash for the white. There's definitely a chance. But pack 1 is where we got cut off in black, so I think that's going to happen again. We're definitely going to have to find some good blue cards here. This deck probably just needs Typhoid Rats. There is Tranquil Cove to help splash for white cards, but I think this deck just needs Typhoid Rats pretty bad. We just don't have anything going on early, so let's change that. Get some cheap spells. First few picks are going to be very important, I feel like. We're going to have to find Rats, Jeskai Sages, Sultai Emissaries. Those are of the utmost importance to making this deck function and have a nice curve. So we're hoping. We're hoping for some good passes here. All right, Soul Flare is actually pretty good. There's a Lotus Patch in, which is good, but tends to wheel. Ooh, Cloud Form too. How good is Soul Flare in here? I mean, we've got Acid Spear Dragon, which gives it flying and death touch. We have plenty of other dragons. I guess we don't have anything else really that we can give it besides flying and death touch. But I mean, it's okay. Otherwise, we probably want the Cloud Form. It's just cheaper. There's also Douse and Gloom, but I think Cloud Form's just better. Hexproof Flyer. It's probably just more in line with what we want. We've got enough late game stuff going on. I think we got to pick up something cheap here. I like Douse and Gloom too because of the life gain, but I think Cloud Form's just a better card, so we'll take it. All right, for now, let's cut white for now. If I have to bring white in, I know what my game plan is for that, but I really want to see if I can make blue-black work. Like, Ugin's Construct seems okay here. Not terribly exciting, but okay. There is Thornwood Falls if I wanted to splash green, but not a big fan of that. We do have Fearsome Awakening with, what, 3 dragons? That's not bad either, especially since we're running Drowner. Ugin's Construct works with Acid Spewer, Interceptor, Custodian, and Cloud Form? Let's take the Ugin's Construct. Maybe wheel the Fearsome Awakening, but it's a good threat on turn 4, I think. We only need 2 cards to make this deck. Jeez, Mob Rule's so strong. We gotta take just Sky Sage here. It's absolutely what our deck's looking for. I still think we're 18 lands, so let's take the just Sky Sage. We only need 1 more playable then, and I really think we're gonna be able to make this deck work, which is good news. But, geez, we gotta hate something here. Guess we can take Harsh Sustenance. We don't really have a ton of creatures if we wanted to splash for it, but otherwise I hate like a Sandstep Outcast, which is just really strong. I guess there's not really, I don't think there's a great chance of us splashing white, so let's just hate, I think, the best card in this pack, which is Outcast. Although, I've got the Minister, so I've got a good out to it. But still, it seems like the best card. I'm going to take that. I'm just going to take it. I mean, there's Scroll to Masters. Not really impressed with that. Could just take Enhanced Awareness, but, I mean, we already have a couple ways to draw cards. It's just there's nothing else we care about. I guess I'll take Enhanced Awareness for now with 18 lands, but I don't really like it. Okay, I don't actually really like Frostwalker, but considering we're kind of hard up on playables at the moment, I think I'm just going to take it. It can trade early. All right, we're still hunting for cheap stuff, so I'll take the Skullkeeper. Let's cut the Enhanced Awareness. Let's probably cut... I'm trying to think if I'd rather main deck Negate or Vial of Dragonfire. I think Foul Tongue and Reduce in Stature together could also be awkward, so maybe I just leave both of those and cut the Reduce in Stature. Definitely take the Skullkeeper here. Just as like another 2-drop that our deck probably needs. Okay, Rite of Undoing is certainly a good card. Maybe I play that over the Vial of Dragonfire. I don't have a lot of stuff I want to bounce, though, on my side. That's kind of the issue. Although it's good against removal. Bounce your biggest guy, save my guy that you're trying to remove. Doesn't work so well with Frostwalker, though. It's probably the best card anyway, though. I'll just take it. Okay, this really isn't a Hooded Assassin deck in general, but it seems like something we could use. And maybe I just play it over Vial anyway. Or maybe I just don't play Vial regardless. I don't even really like Zephyr Scribe in this deck. I'd probably rather just play a Hooded Assassin. I mean, Zephyr Scribe's fine, but I might just want to pay 3 mana for a 2/3 rather than paying 3 mana for a 2/1 with an ability that requires more stuff. Let's hate the cheap threat here. Return to the Earth's good against us. We'll hate that. Don't really care about any of these cards. I guess we'll take the actual threat. Disdain for sideboard, sure. Okay. So we made the deck work. I mean, we're definitely competing in blue-black, but what I like about this deck is I think we did actually end up with enough cheap stuff, which is great news. And now we sort of just get to decide what's worthy of keeping and what we should end up cutting. We're definitely removal light, which is a concern. Absolutely. Our removal is what? Foul Tongue Invocation. Negate's not even really removal. Yeah, we are definitely removal light. Our threats are great though. Our threats are really great. We got to make a cut here. Ojutai summons are creatures as well. We're playing 18 lands, absolutely, no doubt about that. Dragon, I guess, is a morph. I like Construct in this deck actually. I don't know about Zephyr Scribe in this deck. We only have 6. I mean, you can still, I guess you can, it's not like you can't use it, but I feel like we're going to have better usage of our mana. Plus, we already have ways to draw cards via, you know, Vulture Save and Youthful Scholar. I think we are likely just going to main deck Negate because we have more than enough creatures, so Negate seems like something that could be useful and unexpected main deck. I might, yeah, we have like 20 creatures now, including Cloud Form and double summons. That's a lot. Very removal light, like I said. Minister of Pain is sort of removal, but we can't deal with some threats really well. I might just want to find a way to make Reducing Stature work, even though, like I said, it's a Nombo with Foul Tongue Invocation. It just seems like something our deck really needs. I mean, maybe before I play Foul Tongue Invocation, I can play Rite of Undoing and bounce my Reducing Stature if it comes down to it. Yeah, that seems pretty awkward, but it's something. Let's cut the Zephyr Scribe. I just don't like the card in general. It just seems weak in this deck because, despite the fact that we have a risk of getting flooded, I think there's a better chance of us getting screwed just because we have an actual ton of threats. We have a ton of threats in this deck, so I could actually cut the Hooded Assassin too. It might be the weakest card. I really don't want to cut any of our 1 and 2 drop creatures, despite Frostwalker not being all that good. In this deck, I still think it's a 2-mana 4/1, which could be valuable. It could also suck in certain matches, but it's exploit fodder as well. I mean, it's certainly bad against dragon fodder, but whatever. All right, one more cut. Maybe I want to even find a way to squeeze Vial of Dragonfire in here just to get more removal. Just because we're so removal light, I might actually consider that. It's not great, but Vial does deal with some things in a clunky way, but a way nonetheless. I'm pretty tempted to cut Hooded Assassin. It's just not a very good card for our deck. It's a much better card when you've got a bunch of cheap threats and you need to deal with a big threat. Let's cut the Hooded Assassin, I think. I think it's just the weakest card in our deck. I might just swap Negate for Vial. Negate's a good sideboard card. It's fine and certainly playable in the main deck, but I think I'd rather main deck more removal just because we only have Foul Tongue, Reduce, and Rite of Undoing, which is very removal light. Okay, I might... Let me see if there's a creature I want to cut instead. I don't think there is, though. I actually really like Ugin's Construct in this deck now. If you see, there's actually 4 3-drop creatures that go into Ugin's Construct just fine. Granted, we have some... Well, what's nice is Construct what? I can sacrifice a Shambling Goblin to kill something maybe, or I can sacrifice a Jeskai Sage to draw a card. I can sacrifice these 3... Well, I'd prefer not to, but like if I have to, I can. Yeah, I actually think Construct works in this deck. I think I gotta squeeze in Vial, so let's figure out a cut. I think it's the Negate. I think it is. Everything else seems pretty good for us. Okay, so we'll sideboard Negate. It seems like a card I'd probably want to sideboard into fairly often, but Vial just, I'm telling you, man, I think this deck needs Vial to really be able to remove stuff. All right, I mean, our deck's okay. It's not bad. We've got some good threats. We have some powerful cards. We're playing 18 lands, which I'm comfortable with. Definitely more blue than black. I think 10-8 because we actually have black cards we want to play on turn 1. 10-8 though seems fine. Okay, so we knew we were competing in black pack 1, but despite that we still ended up with some good black cards. The Aven, the Dragon, the Necromancer, both dragons. Our 1-drop guys are good for an archetype like this. We did definitely force our way into blue-black, but I'm pretty happy with the overall card quality of what we got. Like, the blue card quality is certainly better than the black card quality, but we're supplementing fairly well with some artifacts too, which is nice. And Construct even works with like Scion of Ugin, which is nice. So that might even come up. And it works well with the Custodian, like I said, and our Morph guys. So, and our Cloud Form even. So it's kind of nice. Oh, no, wait. I guess, well, it doesn't work with Cloud Form as well as I would have liked, because you do actually have to sack the Cloud Form, but you do retain the creature. So the question is, would I rather have the flying and hexproof on my 2/2, or am I willing to sacrifice those 2 abilities to get a 4/5? And I'm probably willing to sacrifice those 2 abilities to get a 4/5 on turn 4. So that's not as good as I would like it to be, but Construct is still a nice, like, curving out threat for this deck, I think. Especially if I don't do anything until turn 3, and I go, like, Custodian into Construct. I think that's really good. Or Vial into Custodian into Construct. I could see that happening, possibly. Not much else to say, I guess. So this is the deck. We're going to run it like this. Not insane, but not bad either. We'll see how it runs.